What if I told you there is an ancient story detailed in the Book of Enoch about angels defying heaven, taking human wives, and the dramatic divine response triggered by their actions? Today, we're focusing on one celestial hero, Archangel Michael, and what he did to those women. The truth might surprise you. Who were the fallen angels? Let's go back. The fallen angels are called the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, a group of around 200 powerful angels, led by Samayaza, took human wives, daughters of men, and taught them forbidden arts like sorcery, weapon making, cosmetics, astrology, and other knowledge not meant for humankind. The result of forbidden unions. These unions produced the Nephilim, giants of immense size and destructive power. According to Enoch, they consumed all the acquisitions of men, turned against humans, and even devoured each other in their brutality. Divine anger and the plan of judgment. Seeing the catastrophic consequences, God sent archangels to intervene. Raphael to imprison Azazel, Gabriel to incite the giants to destroy one another, and Michael, tasked with a particularly shocking mission. Michael's assignment was severe. God commanded him to bind Samayaza and his associates, the fallen Watchers, who had married human women. Once their giant children turned on each other, Michael was to apprehend these angels and imprison them in the valleys of the earth for 70 generations, until the day of judgment. What about the wives? The texts are silent, or at least obscure, about Michael taking any direct action against the wives themselves. Most scholarly readings state simply that the fallen angels were imprisoned. However, there are apocryphal or speculative traditions suggesting that the wives were either vanquished or eliminated alongside their husbands. Clarifying common misunderstandings. To be clear, while many sensational videos or media might claim Michael punished or destroyed the wives, those claims aren't directly supported by major ancient sources like 1 Enoch. The core texts talk about the Watcher's imprisonment, not the wives' fate. Scholarly interpretation and lore variants. Some scholars interpret the vanquishing of the wives as metaphorical, the end of their lineage due to the flood and their separation from the heavenly connection of their husbands. It reminds us that myths can evolve, especially around troubling or ambiguous gaps in Scripture. The flood and erasure in the biblical account. The great flood is sent to cleanse the earth of the corrupt Nephilim and reset creation. The women at the center of the Watchers' union would likely have perished along with their giant children, or, at least, had their families eradicated by divine judgment. Michael's role summarized. So what did Michael do? He carried out God's judgment, not by punishing the human wives, but by binding the offending angels. His mission was justice without collateral damage to the innocent, at least according to canonical Enochic sources. Why the shock factor persists yet, intrigue persists. Modern retellings love the idea of a strong divine figure doing something dramatic to forbidden's brides. It fits YouTube titles and viral myths, but mixing sensationalism with Scripture can blur fact and fiction. The real lesson behind this story: regardless of myth versus fact, the tale warns against overreaching, forbidden's knowledge, and the imbalance created when heavenly beings cross into human life. Michael is presented as a force of divine restoration, not indiscriminate vengeance. Did Michael do something shocking to the wives of fallen angels? The Book of Enoch and related tradition don't say so. Instead, his actions focused on punishing the Watchers. Claims about the wives being targeted belong more to modern legend than ancient text. Still, the ambiguity keeps us fascinated and reminds us how myth and interpretation dance together across millennia.